Welcome. Daniel and I wanted to make a video about the new changes to the NSCA CPSS detailed content outline. So if you visit nsca.com, you go to certifications, you go down to CPSS to find the updated version. You'll go all the way down to where it says step two, study for the CPSS exam. Scroll down a little bit more from there, and then under Build Your Foundation, you'll see CPSS Detailed Content Outline, the different domains that the CPSS exam is based off of. So again, like it says, use the exam blueprint to see every domain and task assessed, then align your study schedule to those areas. The note that it has here, so if you're taking the exam prior to July 1, you're going to use this hyperlink in blue, and that's the old detailed content outline that's already been in use. If you're taking your exam after July 1, you're going to hit this button here where it says download the DCO, and it's going to explain why. Basically, there was a meeting in January of 25. Leading sports science experts came together to see what the CPSS truly meant in practice and in the job setting. So they had updated the domains to better uh, exemplify what people that have their CPSS were doing in the real world. So again, that's kind of a little bit of background about it. We can always go into that a little bit more, but we wanted to show and outline what those changes were. So I'm going to transition here my screen. So give me 1 second here. All right. So again, the updates. On the left is the old copy. We're not going to read every little detail, but we're going to focus on the one on the right. The one on the right here, I'm going to move my screen over, is the new detailed content outline that will be rolled out July 1. The domains, if you can see the differences, the ones that are numbered 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see on the right the new headings. So instead of training theory and process, it's now sports science theory and process. Instead of needs analysis, it's interdisciplinary needs analysis. Instead of acute and chronic monitoring, it's assessment and monitoring, and then communication and education. There's a data management section, and we'll go into those and give an overview of each in those changes. So one of the main changes here that we have boxed is domain one. So there's this transition away from more strength training theory and process to a sports science theory and process. So you can see those descriptors A through F there, but ultimately what this means is a new emphasis on research literacy. There are research articles that you'll be given to when you sign up for the exam, and they are highlighting the importance of being able to disseminate the information and being able to apply that come exam time. Also, too, with that, a technology evaluation piece, which also would just be beneficial in your you want to use. And then also communication, and that's a recurring theme as we go through. The key chapters to study chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4, which again are very similar. And with those small changes, the emphasis of chapter 7, technological implementation, chapter 19, injury risk model, and chapter 31, information dissemination.
For domain two, the new updates are going from needs analysis to interdisciplinary needs analysis. The main new areas of focus are going to revolve around communication. So that's communication with stakeholders, the communication of the results of the needs analysis. And then along with that, we have the same domains of KPIs and benchmarking, as well as stakeholder collaboration. For these key chapters to study, we felt like 5 and 6 were still the most appropriate, but there's an additional resource. It's a journal article by Martin Boucher. It's called Want to See My Report, Coach. It's in the Aspetar Sports Journal. And within that article, there's a section called Delivering the Data. And Martin does a really good job of diving into kind of what the practical setting is like when delivering data to stakeholders. And that's the new emphasis for this section. So definitely a good area to brush up on.
Yeah, we'll make sure to provide that resource as well. And transitioning to domain three, previously more monitoring based, now assessment and monitoring. New emphasis being data ethics and privacy regarding athlete information, stakeholder communication, again, like we talked about, a recurring theme, and then data collection protocols. The key chapters to study with that will still be those surrounding, tracking systems and load monitoring in 9, Chapter 10, the analysis of tracking systems and load monitoring at large within the team setting. And then we have some other ones here that are tools that you will be utilizing, which, kinematics and gait analysis, Chapter 11, Chapter 12, kinetics and force platforms, heart rate variability in Chapter 14, and then biomarkers, perception of efforts, and statistical modeling and performance interventions and operationalizing data. So 16, 17, 18, and 22, respectively.
And for our final domain, I would say this is probably the biggest change that the exam has made. This is going to make up 22% of the exam. You can see that from the total number of questions on the far right. So all of that adds up to 100, 22 out of 100, 22%. And the key chapters to study are Chapter 8, Data Hygiene, Data Delivery and Reporting, Interdisciplinary Support among your high performance team, and Information Dissemination. So as you can see, a lot of it revolves around data management, particularly new things of data security, relating to ethics, providing individual and organizational information, data collection and storage. That'll be really good with regards to data workflow and reflection of what the modern sports scientist is doing, as well as analysis and modeling.
And then there's special topics, which would be part 6 of the textbook, and things such as recovery, sleep, fueling, nutrition, environmental stress, psychobiology, neuroscience, motor performance, and then the sports science of injury. Those will be intertwined throughout, and I wouldn't necessarily be latched onto one domain, but might be sprinkled in throughout the domains for your guys' awareness.
All right. And then just to wrap it up, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on Instagram. You can message us there or go to our website, sportsciencepodia.com. There you can find additional resources to help you prepare for the CPSS prep. And then if you're interested in more videos, please like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at CPSS Prep. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in.